4 years ago, I was just like you. I was looking at Dubai as a place to launch my business, or at least come here and figure out how life would be like without making a major commitment to staying here permanently. Enter the remote work visa. I came in on Dubai's remote work visa in December of 21, and since then I have launched my own business here. I've been living here for 4 years. I came in with my 4 kids, and I'm going to tell you today all about that process for the remote work visa, the costs involved, the documents you need, everything you need to know so you can make a decision about whether that's right for you. My name is Jamelia Greer. I am a lawyer. I've been practicing for 15 years, and I decided on a whim to pack up my business that I had launched in Singapore and moved to Dubai. And for a living, I actually do legal consulting and coaching. So if you're interested in any of that, or just really wondering how to start a business abroad, check out the link in the comments below, which you will get a free email course about how to start. Let's get into it. So first off, let me say that Dubai's remote work visa, which is now called the Virtual Working Program, started off as a way for people to work remotely. So in the wake of COVID, as you guys all remember, people were starting to work from home, and there was a lot of questions about, well, should I be a digital nomad? Should I, keep my company, keep my job, and just move to another country and work from there? So a lot of countries were starting these programs as a way to entice people to move there and work from there. And Dubai, as an emirate that is always thinking ahead of time, they launched the program too. So in December of 21, I entered in Dubai on this remote work visa. So my story is that I had started my consultancy in Singapore. I was living in Singapore at the time, my husband and 4 kids, and we were looking for a new adventure. So we said, well, let's go to Dubai on this. I can continue to do my work, and my husband was going to look for work here, and we decided to do that. So what documents were required to really do this? But before I get into that, let me just tell you that I'll tell you the benefits of the remote work visa. Is a benefit because it allows you to come in. You are essentially sponsoring yourself under your current company, whether you are self-employed or whether you are working for an employer. It is a self-sponsor type of visa in a way because you're coming in with external sponsorship. Whereas if you were to come to Dubai and you were to get a job, you would need a company to sponsor your work visa. So that is the main difference between a remote work visa and a regular work visa in Dubai. Secondly, your remote work visa allows you to live here and work legally. So that's the point, right? If you come in without any kind of visa, depending on what passport you will have a limited stay. And you do not want to get into any kind of situation where you have fines and penalties for overstaying. So it's super important to understand how long you're going to be allowed to stay, and if any extensions you will be granted if you decide to come in without a remote work visa or a visa on arrival. So check those out. Make sure you come in correctly. So this remote work visa, most people apply for it before you enter Dubai. That's the whole point, right? So let's say you are an American and you're working for a US company and you make $15,000 a month. I'm just pulling that number out of the air. You make $15,000 a month and you want to live in Dubai and see how it is. And your boss says, hey, it's okay for you to work remotely because you're working remotely from the US anyway, and you decide to give it a try. So what you'll need to do, the first thing that you need to show is proof of income. Now, this can come in pay stubs. Firstly, it will come in pay stubs from your employer, and or it will come from your bank statements. And usually they like to see both because the pay stubs are proof of ongoing income, and your bank statements are proof of a historical income. So they usually ask for about 3 months worth of pay stubs and your bank statements. So you gotta make sure you have a good track record of money coming in and money staying in. The next thing you'll need to show, obviously, is your passport. You need to show proof of identity, verify who you are, and really you need to make sure that your employer is on board with all of this. I think above all else, you need to make sure that your employer is going to be okay with it. I know a lot of people, I've seen some TikToks where people are like, hey, I'm just going to, go ahead and just move to Dubai and not tell anybody, and my boss will never know because the time difference is only 4, 6, or 8 hours, whatever it is for certain people. Don't do that. Make sure you have your employer's consent, because if anything happens to you, right, your employer is essentially sponsoring you, which brings me to the next point. You do need a letter from your employer saying that this is okay, right? And so all of these things basically build the case that you are a employed, financially stable, and capable person to come and move into Dubai and be allowed to live here and work for a foreign employer and to make a living. So you apply for this before you enter, and then once you enter, you have to do all the rest of the documentation, which is similar to if you were coming in and just found a job when you got here, which includes your medical, fingerprints, etc. These things are minor costs, but you should budget at least $2,000, because first you need to have your medical, you'll need to have your visa application done, and you'll need to have fingerprinting. Now, of course, these don't cost $2,000, maybe around $500 to $1,000 in totality. But the reality is that if you want your medical expedited, if you want to go to a really nice medical clinic, they have so many different options for you to get these things done. And if you're like me and you like to go to the nice clinics where there's like a robot that's serving you coffee, whatever, just make sure you have your money right so you can have a smooth process. Because in this remote work visa process, you are going to be the one that's handling your paperwork. You are going to be the one that's dealing with the agencies, unless you have someone else who's going to do it for you. If you pay a third party to do it for you, it will be you. So make sure that you have enough money to have your things expedited, and then to also have a nice experience where you get these things done. Now, what about kids? If you are working and you have a family and you'd like to use this remote work visa, can you bring your kids? Yes, you can bring your kids. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I brought my children, all 4 of them, and they came in just fine. And my husband too, I shouldn't forget about him. He came in too on the remote work visa. And look, it's a really great opportunity to see how it is to live here before you decide to move to Dubai permanently. I'm going to make some other videos, and I do have a few others, and I'll put links below, about my process in setting up a business in Dubai, and how it is to network in Dubai, etc. Because a lot of people think that Dubai is all about luxe and glam and all of that, and it does have that style. But if you are a professional and you've been working for 10, 15, 20 years, you want to make sure that you can continue to work, or you can start your own company, or you can get involved in something that is intellectually stimulating. This is something that I say you should probably try out and test Dubai before you decide to move here. If you have other questions about the remote work visa, how much it costs, what the process is like, how long it takes, make sure you add your questions in the comments below. I will tell you, I was actually shocked at how fast this took. This was back in December of 2021. We entered in, like I said, I entered in on the remote work visa, and within probably like 4 days, all of my documents were done. Like, I had my ID in hand. I don't know if it's still that fast, but the processing is extremely efficient. So be prepared for that. If you're someone who's, from the US and you're used to government processing taking months, it doesn't take months, it takes a few days. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I know a lot of you have been asking me about this. Hit me up in the comments with questions you might have, other things about Dubai, moving here. Be happy to let you know more about my experience. Till next time, take care.